Hi Libra, here's a general look at your solar chart for November 2012, and this month it's about basic stuff. It's about finances, maybe goods, property, anything which affects your material security or physical well-being is likely to have your attention. So a theme is going to be centered around stuff. It might be your stuff, it could be their stuff. And maybe maintaining it or protecting it, moving it, weighing it up or throwing it out. Or maybe you want to get your hands on more. So it's just going to be about the paraphernalia and perhaps the money as well that we trail through life with, and also maybe other resources which underpin our basic survival, which we tend to lose sight of, which is like sort of a roof over the head, food and water. You may be considering financial priorities at this time, maybe doing a bit of juggling and budgeting and casting around for ways to stretch what you have or to make more out of it. Maybe some project or chore is ongoing, developing, you know, you're watching it grow, but it needs your continued practical nurturing attention or research as well. You could be looking into the material pluses and minuses affecting you on basic levels, such as those basic things: food, water, shelter, and of course warmth, and maybe some kind of currency, perhaps beads or shells. And here in the UK there's actually some towns that have created their own money. Now there's a turn up for the books. Now, some of you may find health matters, yours or another's, or nutrients, remedies, or medicines are emphasized at this time. Maybe you're seeing how to make the most out of your little patch of earth, which would be a good idea, or exercising your talents and tuning them up, or turning them into lucrative skills and making most of the little patch of earth, which is you, Libra. Now, there's going to be a solar eclipse on the 13th, and that will open the way for you to make new beginnings in that area, all those areas I've just been mentioning, those very sort of materialistic areas which affect your security and, of course, possibly indirectly your health. This eclipse is a good thing if you understand that the eclipse energy goes out over the next few months, and if you take one step in the right direction on the eclipse day, that will set the precedent up there for what you want. Okay, and then there's going to be another eclipse, and that's happening on the 28th. That's going to be a lunar eclipse. The solar eclipse, by the way, isn't going to be seen in the northern hemisphere. It will be seen in the southern hemisphere. But we will definitely be feeling the effects of it. Now, the lunar eclipse, this is related to bringing in the chance for a fresh start related to maybe higher education or travel, publications, foreign connections. It can be to do with the legal side of things as well, and it does just put the gears in neutral, really, and allow for improvement to come in related to those areas there. And because it lasts only a month, the lunar eclipse, it'll take you up to about New Year with its effects. Now, Mercury enters a very sociable area in your solar chart, but also it's also to do with communications, media, excuse me, increased communications through speaking and writing is more likely, including more paperwork maybe, and overall it tends to be a sociable and enterprising period, a great time for making connections and promotions in person or over the wires. But between the 6th and the 26th, Mercury is retrograde, so it just slows it down a bit. I mean, slows down the manifestations of its energy a bit. And that might be related to correspondence, communications equipment, vehicles, travel, transport. And Mercury retrogrades into the previous house on the 14th for the rest of the month, putting the mental focus onto the financial, practical side of life, and maybe some delays will try your patience whilst you're waiting for somebody to turn up, or to make contact, or whatever it is. So that's when Mercury is coming to join the Sun. That's from the 14th. Now, fortunately for you, the planet of love, material success, and physical balance, your ruling planet, in fact, Venus is in your sign until the 22nd, and that's really nice. And there could be treats in the pipeline, but at the very least, Venus is going to provide a buffer here, and it will provide a boost to, the piggy bank, or at least allow you to stabilize things related to the piggy bank, or possessions, or objects that you have around, or property. And also it could boost relationships as well, especially in the love department. But of course there's lots of different kinds of love, isn't there? But at least it will offer you more opportunities to mix and mingle successfully, because you will come across as just that little bit more attractive at this time, and persuasive maybe. And I must say, it is a good time for you to just do something nice for yourself, have a bit of a makeover, go out and do some retail therapy, because it's definitely time. And with Venus here, you will, tend to feel ready and more outgoing, and ready for, the compliments and the flattery to come your way. And you just come across in the eyes of others, you've got that sort of Venus aura around you as more welcoming, attractive, however it is you want to come across, and more than usual anyway. And good news for you, especially for anything to do with business, and definitely for your love life. On the other hand, you could be feeling somewhat self-indulgent at this time, and want you to treat yourself to activities or purchases which boost your morale, but hopefully, aren't just going to be worthless in 5 minutes, but become some sort of valuable asset, Libra. Okay, it's not all easy peasy with Venus, which also rules money and material objects and material resources, like property, or it can be large amount of property or small amount of property. So you just need to work to balance things and just make sure that flow of abundance isn't going more from you than towards you. And then from the 22nd, Venus moves into a materialistic area, which is still very good news for you, Libra, because it is about money and property and material objects and material security, among other things. It can also be indirectly to do with your health. And Venus is the planet of balance, so it tends to, if we let her, bring balance into wherever she goes. So overall, it means that you can do well if you play your cards right, and even better if you know how to work on manifesting what you want, which is really feeling what you want rather than thinking it, and being that child with the teddy bear or the dolly or the car or the truck or the airplane, or sitting under a tree, is just to become that you want, is to be it. We are more now in a time not of thinking about things, but of just being them and becoming them. And that's the way to manifest, is to be it. Children know how to do it. This Venus energy here will give you access to the path towards what it is that you want. And of course, don't bite off more than you can possibly chew in one mouthful. Start small and work your way up gradually. But this is a good time for acquiring and preserving basic stuff. So if you've already acquired something which is quite big, then Venus here is going to help you just really appreciate that and make the most of it. And in fact, you could just be appreciating what you have more with Venus in this part of your natal chart. And it gives you an opportunity to do a little bit better materially, and it's an opportunity to use more of your natural talents, and teamwork, in fact, could result in better health, because this area here is about health. So you working with someone on your health, or maybe it's their health, and perhaps a bit of an ego boost as well. Venus here can bring you that, and definitely can help you with the piggy bank. And Venus, when Venus overtakes Saturn, though, a word of caution. Venus goes over Saturn on the 22nd, and the 27th, and you may have to be a little bit more restrained and intuitive in this area. So those are two really nice positions of Venus for you, Libra, because now you have actually started to feel the lighter feeling coming from not having Saturn in your sign anymore. And you earlier Librans will definitely be feeling this. I would say you early and middle Librans, you later Librans are still probably trying to get your strength back. Now, the headline news last October was that Saturn moved, and it's come out of your sign, and it's gone into the next sector, which is to do with finances and perhaps property, or just material security, material objects. And so it will move all of its limitations and pressures into that area there, but it won't be anything like as up close and personal as it has been for the last 2.5 years in your sign. And Saturn will be there until 2015, and you can find out more about that if you want to on my website. Also, another long-term transit, Jupiter will be expanding you into new intellectual areas or physical territories over several months to come. So your horizons are broadening, and you will tend to encounter people or environments which hitherto you have not known much about or anything about at all. And they will really teach you a lot and open new doors in your mind, and perhaps new opportunities and possibilities for the future as well. Until the 17th, Mars continues in your solar communications sector. Getting your head around new things can be pretty demanding, or even competitive at times. And definitely you won't be backwards in coming forwards with letting others have it where your opinion is concerned in some quarters. Of course, you won't be bellowing at everybody. It's not your style, but definitely having to be more decisive and assertive with Mars here. You definitely feel as though you want to be. Mars here will make you feel more confident about certain decisions and more definite in your objectives. Now, from the 17th, Mars moves to the root of your chart, which means that you could be busier than usual getting organized around property, inside, outside, maybe with interacting with family members more, or extended family, or a community, or maybe that's a community over the wires. Definitely a time to be working on the home, or from home, or on some sort of base of operations or working space. And physical effort may be needed for this because of a living space, or related to some sort of tribal community. And there may be more demand in and around the base of operations, and just physical effort to set things up in the way that you want to get them set up. And it's always very important because they're going to underpin life, for you in the future, but also perhaps this foundation area, whether it's about actual material property or whether it's about family interconnections and neighborhood connections, they will provide a launch pad for your aims and ambitions in the world. Mars in this area could mean a lot more hustle and bustle around you. It's very male energy, lots going on in and around the home base or base of operations, and increased demand on your ability to give attention to nearest and dearest, or members of the tribe. And however, as always with Mars, there could be moments of tension because Mars is a bit feisty, and you could find that you've got a shorter fuse from the 17th with Mars here. And also you do that knee-jerk response thing where you trip over some old habits and some old skeletons in the closet. So just watch out for that one. And then from the 22nd, mental processes could accelerate. You may be on the move more, toing and froing more, making new connections and dealing perhaps with the more paperwork. And that's it for November. If you're not on my website already and you want to see what the slower moving outer planets are doing, go there and you can find that out. Also, it will be useful maybe to listen to the forecast for your moon sign or your rising sign if you know what they are. And it will add to or subtract from what I've said here. And I'll see you the next time.